The summer began like a sudden gust that rearranged the furniture of English football, and Arsenal found themselves at the centre of the new layout. Months of careful planning, whispered negotiations and sudden medicals coalesced into a transfer window that felt less like shopping and more like an architect finally signing off on a blueprint, a window that confirmed the club's intention to add precise, tactical pieces rather than scattershot names. This was not scattershot spending, it was a targeted remodelling, a series of precision moves designed to erase known weaknesses and give Mikel Arteta the breadth of options he had long demanded. By adding reinforcements to almost every area of the pitch, Arsenal have converted fragile promise into tangible depth, fostering competition in dressing rooms and options on the touchline, and the club's confirmed transfers underline the scale of the reshuffle. Arsenal Arteta's ambition was simple and hard-edged, to have two top-tier players for almost every role, to eliminate the brittle dependence on single stars, and to forge a squad that could endure the bruising calendar. An objective flagged repeatedly in coverage of the window, and one that now reads like a manifesto put into practice. This philosophy of doubling up with quality has been visible across the summer's arrivals, a deliberate blend of youth and experience, of specialists and versatile operatives who can tilt a formation without collapsing its logic. Talk wingers who can hug the touchline or cut inside, midfielders who can screen or create, defenders comfortable in a high line or a physical reset. These are the building blocks of tactical flexibility, and they change how a manager plans for a week with 2 matches, 3 matches, 3 matches, or the kind of back-to-back tests that used to expose thin squads. Depth becomes resilience, and resilience curtails the brittle, demoralizing injuries that have derailed promising campaigns in the past. When the bench contains players who could start for most rivals, the entire team grows an immune system against fatigue and fixture crunches. But this is not merely about bodies on a sheet of paper. It alters the psychology inside the dressing room. Where once there might have been anxious whispers when a single pivot was injured, now there's a sense that standards are guarded by multiple hands. Competition sharpens training, and training sharpens performance. Young players sense a pathway without being rushed into a role they aren't ready for. Senior pros' no swaps won't necessarily be a vote of no confidence, but a strategic nuance. The result is a collective belief that the club no longer flirts with potential, it prepares to exploit it. Tactically, the additions allow Arteta to vary his approach without sacrificing technical quality. A higher press one night, a more measured possession-heavy plan the next. A switch to 2 forwards when a game demands physical presence, or a compact midfield pivot when control is essential. Opponents who once mapped a single weak link must now probe thicker, smarter lines, and that uncertainty is a competitive advantage in itself. Still, signings do not erase the work of coaching. Integration, fitness and cohesion remain decisive. New recruits must learn rhythms language and the tiny compromises that allow 11 individuals to behave like a single organism. Early glimpses suggest appetite and buy-in are present, but the season is an endurance test rather than a highlight reel. The calendar will deliver its cruelest tests. December runs that resemble obstacle courses, European nights that punish any depth deficit, and the inevitable moments when pressure converts hope into scrutiny. Arsenal's summer has shifted the narrative though. Where once questions began with a can they survive, they now start with a will they finally deliver? And that difference matters. The club's supporters, long weighed by seasons of near misses, now sense not a fantasy but a concrete plan, the sort of plan that invites expectation. Expectations will be demanding, and that is a new tension to manage. If Arteta's blueprint holds and the doubled options produce consistency rather than confusion, this window will not be remembered as a flurry of signings, but as the moment Arsenal transformed potential into genuine muscle. If not, the depth will feel like cost without cure. Either way, the stakes have been raised. This summer was more than business, it was a strategic gamble, and football's next chapters will reveal whether the gamble remade a title challenger or simply postponed familiar heartbreak.